For the videos I bring you, they are 100% real. For everything I do is 100% real. There is nothing I do to edit the voices, to edit anything. I record it, I put it, I show it. For there is nothing like this in the world. For the warnings I have given you have happened. For everything I have said would happen has happened. And the rest is still happening right now. There is still much more to come, for I have told you what would happen all the way to 2030. If a person can tell you such things, even placing dates, and they are happening, you just might want to pay attention. For in this world, we have people that have gifts. Not all gifts are the same. We have mediums, we have people that can connect with spirit, other things. Pay attention to the mediums. When they do a session for a person, a loved one has stepped in. Now, where are they stepping from? In your Bible, it tells you when you die, where you're supposed to go. Are you really supposed to wait in the grave until God returns and then you shall rise? If that is the case, then why is there so many incidents, or why is there so many people communicating with spirits? For there are many people who believe that when a person dies, your soul doesn't know anything of this world, doesn't remember anything, and can't even tell you the future. I am here to tell you that is false. For the communication I have, it is different, as I keep saying. At one point, I was like these mediums. I could walk up to somebody and tell you things about your loved ones. But through the whole process that I have been through, 40 years of being surrounded by spirits, 40 years of spirits coming to me from everywhere. I grew up in Tucson, Arizona, and yet I got spirits from Egypt coming to me. I have spirits from Chile coming to me. It doesn't matter. They all come to me. Now, why is that? It is for the spirit. It is for the soul that I possess. And through the old videos that I have out there, spirits have spoken of my spirit and what it is and why. For God touched my soul while I was still in the womb and freed my soul from this world. I've always looked at this world for what it is, not for what you see on your television, not for what the celebrities are influencing the teenagers and every other thing. My childhood home, it was haunted. It was full of spirits like you wouldn't believe. And growing up in a house that was full of spirits, you could only imagine being a child seeing such things. The fear that it would put in someone, in me. I have seen so much. I have seen blood run down walls. I have heard Native Americans talking. I have seen people appear in my room. I have seen spirits with halos, others with wings. I have seen all there is to see. But as a child growing up, you don't understand it, but you want answers. And this is what I have dedicated my whole life to. Something in me is pushing me and pushing me and pushing me to find the answers. I don't watch sports. I don't do things that normal people do. It is knowledge I am after. And there is more to this world than what you think. Growing up on the property I did, there was a reason why it was so haunted. I have family members that were supposed to become preachers and instead chose a different path. Since I was a child, I don't know where I got it from. Anthony means the Spirit of God. This is something that has always come to me. And for the name Anthony, which is my name, this is what I have always imagined it represented. And now I am 40, and I understand. And the property I grew up in had a curse, an old Native American curse. And I don't mean just the land itself, I mean physically on our property. And for years I would hear my mom talk about a war. My mom was a medium too. She could see spirits, describe your loved ones, so forth. But she would always have a vision, she would always see things. And it was always a massacre, something that happened around Tucson where people came in and massacred a lot of Native Americans. My uncle, my mom, as children, they would walk around and find spears. But my mother passed away in 2017, and she never got to figure it out. It was after she passed away that my energies quadrupled. They just blew up. I can't explain it. And the communication began to change for me, where they were telling me who I am, where my bloodline comes from. And sure enough, they were correct. So I started getting visions, and I started seeing what had happened. And now I understand. So this video, it is to explain more or less what has happened in our world. But to understand the world, you must understand from where you come from. And in Tucson, Arizona, this is what has happened. I will now explain. In Tucson, Arizona, at one point, this was part of Mexico. And in 1692, there were people that came from Spain. There was a man that is known as Father Kino. This man came into what is Tucson now. he found land. He liked the land. But he also found Native Americans that lived on this land. And they would use the Santa Cruz River to get water. These natives had so much land where they would grow their food, and they would also worship on this land. So during the summer, this is what they did. And in the winter, they would move out into the desert, move out into the mountains, hunt for their food and do what they got to do. But by summertime, they would come back. Well, in 1692, a man by Father Kino came and started killing these Native Americans, taking their land, and for others, enslaving them to work in the mines, converting these Native Americans to believe in Christianity. And this is the war my mother spoke of when I was a child. For which this place where the natives lived, farmed, worshipped, this man, Kino, decided to build a church over their worshiping grounds. And he started it. And during the Mexican Revolution, the whole building stopped. The war happened. And when that war was over, they came back, took that church, finished building it, and now we have San Javier. Okay. This church, I don't care when you go, what day you go, it'll never be empty. This church draws in so many people. It is a historic building, but it's not because it's a historic building that people are coming. There are energies there that were left behind by the Native Americans. These natives were the Wak, or the Bak. And in today, in this era, they are known as the Tohono O'odham. So these Spaniards came, killed these natives, turned them into Christianity, and if they didn't, they would kill them or enslave them in the mines. Well, I started looking further into it because I see a portal. I have been there many times, and it is a portal that is open. And I know the church ain't capable of opening such a portal. This church that is here is built over native holy ground. The church. Is there a portal open that the Native Americans opened? So once I found out the history of this church, then come to find out that there has been certain events. There has been a flooding that has damaged this church. There has been a lightning strike that has struck this church. There has been an earthquake that has damaged this building. It's almost as if natural events are trying to destroy this building. And they are, because it don't belong. It's not their energies. It is energies that are stolen from the ancients. And this is what has happened all around our world. For my bloodline comes from the Inca tribe from Chile. And on the worshiping grounds that my ancestors worshipped, same thing. Catholic Church has put a church over this grounds, claiming the energies to be theirs. It doesn't belong to them, never has. In Tucson, Arizona, this is what has happened. And now we have the Keno Sports Complex and all these things named after this man. But then came another, St. Augustine. Now this is another man from Spain who came and told the Native Americans that he was sent by God, by their God. So the natives followed this man to a certain point. Once the natives realized this man was lying to them, they killed this man. So downtown in Tucson, we have a big church downtown, Catholic church, named St. Augustine. I have actually went in this church and recorded, stood at the altar. I have shown you this video. There's nothing holy about it. Can you tell the people who it is that I am? For I am here, and I am here to knock down the ways of this world. For it is religion that separates the people. Through religion, you will not find God. For I am here speaking because there is a proper way to control this world. There is a proper way to unite the people, unite the world. There is a better way to worship. But for the things that have happened in the past, killing people to convert them into the beliefs that exist today was never the way. Spirituality was here before religion. Spirituality is here to take back this world. In the stories of the walk, in the stories of the Bach, it talks about how the God of these natives was actually buried here in Tucson, Arizona, in a mountain. and the mountain started taking form of their God. Well, I have found this mountain. Was the land taken away from the Native Americans here?
No. No.